Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello, my lovely students. How are you? Today we will complete Unit 6, the gender divide for Mega Goal 5. Today we will learn to use verbs plus infinitives or gerund with different meaning. We will also use passive forms of infinitives and gerunds. And the end, we will use auxiliary verbs after but and. Let's start with verbs plus infinitives or gerunds. Some verbs can be followed by either a gerund, which means verb plus ing, or an infinitive, which means to plus base form. But the verb plus gerund and the verb plus infinitive have different meanings. These verbs are remember, forget, regret, stop, and try. Please underline these verbs and write these notes. Again, these verbs, remember, forget, regret, stop, and try, can be followed by what? Who can tell me? Excellent. By gerund, which means verb plus ing, or by infinitive, which means to plus base form. Is it clear, my dear students? Now, let's discuss the first example. He always remembers to send his grandparents a gift on a special holiday. Remember here means plus, remember plus infinitive means remember to do a task. Remember to do a task. But in the second example, he remembers sending gifts last year. Remember plus gerund means remember having done something in the past. Do you get the difference in the meaning? Okay, let's discuss the second example. She sometimes forgets to call. Forgets to call. Here, forget is followed by infinitive. Forget plus infinitive means not remember to do a task. But in the second example, she sometimes forget calling. Forget plus gerund, not remember having done something in the past. I regret to tell you that I have a secret. Regret to tell. Regret plus infinitive means wish it were not necessary to do something. It were not necessary to do something. But in the second example, I regret telling you my secret. Regret plus gerund, wish it were possible to undo something done in the past. We stopped to watch the sunset. Why did you stop to watch the sunset? Okay, here stopped is followed by infinitive, which means stop doing something in order to do something else. But we stopped watching the sunset. Stop by gerund, followed by gerund, means stop doing something. Like he stops smoking. He never smoked. Okay, he stopped doing something. I tried to reach them, but they didn't answer the phone. Try plus infinitive means make an attempt to do something. But I tried reaching them by email. Here try is followed by gerund, means try a specific method to reach a goal. You understand, my dear students? Okay. Now we will learn how to use passive. How to use passive forms of infinitives and gerund. The passive form of an infinitive is to be plus past participle. To plus be plus past participle. Past participle means the third form of the verb. Like take, talk, taken. We will use taken. Everybody wants to be respected by somebody. To plus be plus past participle. The passive form of a gerund is being plus past participle. For example, being asked to settle an argument can be awkward. Auxiliary verbs after but and. When an addition is made to a statement with but or and, often the main verb is not repeated. Instead, it's replaced by an auxiliary verb. We will use but plus subject plus auxiliary. Let's revise what's the meaning of auxiliary. Can you give me examples of auxiliaries? Excellent. Like verb to be, am, is, are, was, or were, or verb to have, like have, has, or had, or modal verbs like will or would, can or could, or verb to do like do, does, or did. Do you remember? Okay. Number 1. My sister isn't good at remembering special occasions, but my mother is. Here we use but. Where is the main verb or auxiliary verb? Excellent, is. So we use but plus subject and we use is. Pay attention that but is used to express contrast in meaning. So we use s, is, not isn't, okay? Keep in mind. John doesn't get frustrated easily, but Sam does. But plus subject plus auxiliary verb. Why do we use does? Because the auxiliary verb in the first clause is doesn't. What about and? And plus subject plus auxiliary verb and to for positive or either for negative. For example, he enjoys outdoors activities and his son does too. Where is the main verb? Excellent, enjoys. So we will use the auxiliary verb does. And plus subject plus does. And here the sentence is positive, so we will add to. The next example, we don't like going for walks in this heat, and he doesn't either. Pay attention. And plus subject plus doesn't, okay, because it's followed by he. And why do you use either? Excellent, because it's a negative sentence. It's a negative sentence. Is it easy, my dear students? Okay, now let's answer the following exercise. Exercise number A, circle the correct form in each sentence. Number 1, do you remember to shut or shutting the window before it started raining? Excellent, to start. Number 2, he stopped, very good, he stopped playing football after he hurt his knee. Number 3, if you haven't been able to get an answer from the boss on the phone, maybe you should try. Perfect, try sending him an email. Number 4, he will never forget scoring, very good, scoring that goal in the last minutes of the game. Don't forget to email me the photos. We regret to inform you that your application has been declined. Now, we will answer exercise number C. Rewrite each sentence as a passive sentence. Number 1, you need to take out the trash. To change this active sentence into passive, we will start with excellent objects. This is an active sentence, begin with subject, verb, and object. We should change it into passive, so we will start with object and we can omit subject. What about the verb to? Excellent. To should be followed by be plus past participle. Very good, my dear students. So the trash needs to be taken. We will start with object needs to be plus past participle. Number 2, he expects the manager to promote him soon. He is the object pronoun, so we will begin with he. Him will change into he. Object pronoun and subject pronoun. Expect, so expect to plus be plus base form. Number 3, I remember my father reading to me when I was a child. I remember being read to as a child. Being plus past participle. Number 4, he waited for his boss to invite him to sit down. He waited to be invented to sit down. To be plus past participle. Number 5, the mechanic needs to repair the car. Excellent. The car needs to be repaired. The car needs to be repaired. We will start with object needs to be plus past participle. Number 6, many celebrities enjoy having photographs take their picture. Many celebrities enjoy having their picture taken. Exercise number D. Complete each sentence with names of classmates and the appropriate auxiliary verb. When appropriate, use to or either after the auxiliary verb. Number 1, lives close to school, but we will choose any names like John lives close to school, but Kurt doesn't. Okay, here we will use subject plus auxiliary verb. We will use doesn't because the main verb here is lives. Number 2, Louis was in school yesterday and George wasn't. Number 3, John is wearing blue today, but Mike isn't. Number 4, Natalie never comes to class late, and Malini doesn't either. We use either here because it's a negative sentence. Is it clear? Do you understand, my dear students? Okay, take care of yourself and